Don't take the presence of the storm to indicate the absence of God. Sometimes when you enter into a storm, and there are all kinds of storms, health storms, financial storms, there are all kinds of storms. I'm talking about storms that other people can't see, storms that make people think you haven't been through anything. Because you get up out the bed every morning and you put your hair up and put your makeup on, and they don't know you put your smile on just like you did your makeup, and walked in smiling because you were going through a secret storm. Has anybody ever gone through a secret storm?
You can pick up ideas that can change your life starting tomorrow. Just be a more careful observer. Now remember, there's two ways to see. One is called sight. The other one is called insight. See with your eyes, you'll see things. See with your mind, you'll see answers. Put your eyes and your mind to work. Don't miss anything. You've got to learn to zero in and concentrate. Wherever you are, be there.
Now listen to me. I don't care if you're sick. I don't care what you're going through. If you're not dead, he ain't through with you yet. As long as you're waking up, you still in the game. You can still make it happen. As long as that breath in your nostrils move, you still in the game. You still can win. Now get your butt up.
That storm that you're in, it seems like that storm is enveloping the whole world. Hard to see out of that storm. It's hard to see past it. It seems like the storm is everything. You can get out of the storm, and you will get out of the storm. But right now, you're being tried. You're being forged. You're being tested by fire and by pain. Don't fail the test.
And if you're not careful, you will allow situations in this life to cloud your perspective. And you will allow moments in this life to take away the hopes and the dreams of tomorrow. Failure, it's not final, it's formative. It's part of the journey. How are you going to learn if you don't ever fail? Failure is fuel for your future. Failure is a part of your story. The only time you fail is the last time you try. You need to get the right perspective on it, because this failure, it will not end in death, but this failure is a part of you being formed.
God may be giving you more to work with than what you are working with at this time. That's why I don't like to hang with low-thinking people, because they'll make you underutilize what God has given you. You need somebody to challenge you that you could be doing more than what you're doing right now. You could have more than you have right now. You could go further than you're going right now. And somebody's got to be bold enough to look you in the face and empower you to go into the enemy's camp and take back what he stole from you. And a lot of times, by the time people really get down to seeing who you really are, they run from you. What we really want is for somebody to love us for who we are. And what we really want is to have the kind of intimate relationship with them that allows us the freedom of not needing to camouflage who we are, what we think, how we speak, and how we understand. Without that freedom, we begin to be actors acting out a role in the house for which we eventually become weary of, and we break out of the role because we want to be free to be ourselves.
I think don't save that last bullet for yourself. You lock and load that last bullet and you shoot it at your enemy. And you keep fighting and you keep fighting no matter.
You won't be able to develop in that area. It's about mentality, getting the right man. I thought of the child, I spake of the child, I understood.
Need to do, keep believing in yourself.
There are moments in our lives that we feel completely alone. We feel as though no one knows what we're going through. It is because of the uniqueness of the challenges that confront you are so unique to you that you feel like I'm up against it all by myself.
It's an uphill battle. And along that road, you're not going to see too many friends. You're going to see your shadow most often. See, the thing is, for many people, they've tried the same path you're on, and they failed. As you walk this journey, you're going to see carcasses all over the place of people that didn't quite have it. Is that your success is like a spotlight shining down on their missed opportunities. Success, many will love you for it. The majority will hate you because your success reminds them of where they could have done it, but they came up short and how they didn't revisit it. The difference between a winner and a loser, the failure's there every single time. It's just the winner gets back up and does it again until it goes his way. So now you're down that path and you're all alone.
And generally, that type of circumstance is born because it's not because you don't have anybody to talk to, but can you trust them? Eventually, even the most disciplined amongst us, the corners of your mouth will droop down. Your smile will turn to a frown. Eventually, even if you have to wait till everybody's gone to sleep, a tear will run across the bridge of your nose because you're dealing with stuff that is so deep and so complicated that you feel like you're in it by yourself. But you are not alone in the battle. You're not alone in the struggle, that God has a strategy. And when it's all over, you're going to see that even though you couldn't see Him, He was there all the time.
I promise you guys, if today you never say good enough, tomorrow you'll always have enough. What I'm saying is the character of who you are. The character defines the success, defines the fame, and it starts right there. Championships aren't won in the theater of the arena. They're won in the thousands of hours in the training room, in the labs, in the 5 a.m. runs, and when everyone else is sleeping. That's when it's won. The heart of a champion is a light switch that's always on. It doesn't go on and off if someone's watching. It's constant. It begins right now with no one looking, man. And how you hold yourself, how you see yourself. What do you do when no one's watching? If you do it then, I guarantee you, you'll be doing it when everyone's watching.
Your heart, your life, your happiness is your responsibility and your responsibility alone. It's not your fault if your partner cheated and ruined your marriage, but it is for damn sure your responsibility to figure out how to take that pain and how to overcome that and build a happy life for yourself. As long as we're pointing the finger and stuck in whose fault something is, you're stuck in suffering. The road to power is in taking responsibility.
Take full responsibility for what happens to you. Accepting full responsibility. It's the day you know you've passed from childhood to adulthood. Learn to reap in the fall without apology if you do well, and without complaint if you don't. That's maturity. I used to have that long list of reasons why I wasn't doing well. I blame my negative relatives. They were always putting me down. I blame my cynical neighbors. They're just selfish, looking out for themselves. Won't loan you money? I used to blame the economy. I blamed the community. That's a pretty good list for not doing well, isn't it?
The road to power is in taking responsibility. Your heart, your life, your happiness is your responsibility and your responsibility alone.
Taking responsibility, accepting responsibility is not an admission of guilt. Taking responsibility is a recognition of the power that you seize when you stop blaming people. It's not like you're letting somebody who wronged you off the hook. Taking responsibility is taking your power back.
A few months later, I learned very quickly to tear up my list, reasons for not doing well, and I threw it away. And I got me a fresh piece of paper, and I put one word on it. Me. There's a Black Heritage spiritual that says, it's not my mother nor my father, nor my brother nor my sister, but it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. It's not what happens, it's what you do. If anything can go wrong, it will. That's one of Murphy's laws. So here's one of the key questions of the evening. Starting tomorrow, what are you going to do that'll make a change in your life's direction? Now see, if you don't do something starting tomorrow that'll make a difference, guess what? Because the next 5 are going to be like the last 5 unless you, major key, tomorrow, change it all. Or change a little, or change something, or don't change. It's choice time. You can do whatever you want. But it's nice to know any day you wish you can change your whole life.
We go through the actions of commitment, but we're not really committed. We're not really connected. We're not really joined because we have no understanding of our responsibility to any relationship. You cannot have true relationship without reciprocity. You cannot get into a relationship to get and not give. You collect anniversaries, you've got a lot of birthdays, but you've never been the person that you could be because the could be is locked up behind commitment, and until you're committed, you'll never get the could be. Wonder what would have happened in school if you'd been committed. Wonder what would have happened in your marriage if you'd have really thrown your whole self. You've always been casual.
In what you've done with your life thus far, is it giving you what you want? Is it giving you what you want? When you look toward the future, when you look at all that's going on out here, is there some place within yourself you say, hey, I know I need to be out there in that arena. I know I can do more than what I've been doing. Is that something that you begin to look at within yourself? See, I say if you look at your life, and if you're not getting what you want, you owe it to yourself to do something differently. You're on a job. 85% of Americans go to jobs that they're unhappy. If you're doing something 8 hours a day that you don't like, it's not giving you what you want, it's not giving you a strong feeling of satisfaction and fulfillment. If that's what it is, you owe it to yourself to start strategically working to change directions. Most people will resist change. Most people will fight change as if change would be worse than what they're experiencing. Most people will not challenge the unknown. They won't just step out there. See, there are certain things that's got to be in place. They've got to see it all together. And life isn't like that. That's not how you grow. As you begin to look toward the future, begin to know that whatever it takes for you to create that, you got that. You've got genius in you. You've got goodness in you. If you decide to take the initiative to change the current quality of your life, I say to you that you will find that the universe is on your side. Will it be easy? No. Will you have some opposition? Yes. Will I make a lot of mistakes? Yes. See, a lot of people won't try anything different in life because they don't want to get hurt. Pain is everywhere. But most people spend their life not wanting to deal with the pain of rejection, the pain of being disappointed, the pain of being criticized, the pain. That's called life. But guess what? There's no gain without pain.
If you don't know exactly what you want, or you let yourself get beyond that into something general, you're not going to achieve it. Clarity is power. You got to know the specific result you're after. What do you want? Why you're doing it? Because you know what? You may get a big goal as soon as I want to make $1 billion. I want to bring peace to the earth. Why? Because as soon as you come up with a goal, all the obstacles show up. So you got to get yourself past that. And the way to get past that is have enough reasons. Reasons come first, answers come second. To ask intelligent, you got to know why you want it, have enough drive to make it happen, enough juice to make it happen. If you don't have enough reasons, you will not make it happen. What is going to get you to actually fall through? Because the first plan's not going to work and the second plan's going to work, so you better have enough plans. If the first two don't work, you still got something else. Otherwise, you're going to be having excuses why it didn't work.
That's a pain. Don't you know that's something? When you know, I was in a seminar once and this lady stood up. If I had my life to live over again, she talked about all of the things that she would do. And you can feel the pain of regret in her voice. She was trying not to experience the pain of defeat, the pain of disappointment, the pain of loss, and she still experienced pain. It was right there. Most people are governed by their habits, their fears, and the opinions of others. A lot of people never try anything differently because they have been convinced by people in their lives that they value that they can't do it. They're living within the context of the opinions that other people have of them. The low expectations. Many people doubt themselves because when they thought about doing something at some critical point in their lives, somebody they respected and honored, someone they trusted said, you can't do that. And they accepted that.
How many times has God showed you something in your imagination, and then you took it in there to your family and your friends, and they shot it down? Stop telling your visions to other people, because they're not going to see it. If you decide to be rich today, who gonna stop you? Unless you tell it to the wrong person.
Jealousy. Jealousy is a dangerous thing. It's a scary thing what people will do when you didn't do nothing to him. Some people just hate you because you blessed. It's not what you did. They just hate you because you're blessed. I'm not going to stop walking in my blessings so you like me. If you can't handle it, take your best shot, because I'm blessed. Shout it out, I'm blessed.
We all love to be blessed, our business taking off. We meet the person of our dreams. But here's the key. The blessing doesn't come by itself. But with that blessing is going to come opposition, jealousy, people that are not for you. The question is not so much, can you handle the blessing? The question is, can you handle the persecution? Everyone is not going to celebrate your success. All your friends won't be happy when you get that promotion, when you move into that new house, when you get engaged. The favor on your life will stir up the jealousy, the competition, the envy in certain people. You can't have the blessing without some kind of persecution. If you can handle the persecution, then God can trust you with the blessing. You have to pass the test of overlooking insults, ignoring what people are saying. They wouldn't be talking if you weren't making a difference. Let God deal with the naysayers. Let God take care of those that are trying to make you look bad. Some people can't handle your success. They were fine as long as you were at their level, as long as you were single like them, as long as you lived in their neighborhood. You have to be okay with them not being okay with you. Your time is too valuable to worry about what people think about you. You don't need everyone to celebrate you. You don't need all your co-workers, all your relatives to cheer you on. If you become too dependent on people, then if they don't meet your expectations, if they don't approve you, you'll spend your time trying to get their approval. Don't look to people, look to God. People can get jealous. You don't need their approval, you have Almighty God's approval. Don't get upset when people turn on you. Don't be revengeful and use your influence to pay them back. Always thinking about what they said, ignore it. Keep dreaming, keep being good to people, and God will take care of the persecutors. He'll deal with the critics, the jealous people, the opposition. People can't stop your destiny. The blessing on your life is greater than any force that's trying to hold you back. Now, don't stay focused on the persecution. It's a test. Can you handle the opposition, the jealousy? You know who gets jealous when you succeed? Small-minded people. Think you going up makes them look bad, so they try to pull you down. Instead of believing that what God did for you, He can do for them, they start criticizing, trying to make you look bad. They think God's favor is limited. They don't realize God has unlimited favor. What He's done for you, He can do for them. If you can't celebrate people that are ahead of you, if you can't be happy when they get promoted, when they get married, when their dream comes to pass, that's going to limit how high God will take you. Your family member moving into that nice house shouldn't intimidate you. It should inspire you. God didn't run out of favor. If He did it for them, He can do it for you. That God is about to release greater blessings, greater influence, favor that you haven't seen. But for this to happen, you have to be able to handle the blessing. You're okay with people not liking you. You're not defensive when people don't understand. If you'll show God that you can handle the blessing, He'll open doors that you could never open. Favor that will thrust you ahead. When people don't accept you, when they leave you out, Don't take it personally. It's not about you. It's about the favor that God's put on you. Are you upset over who's against you? Who turned on you? Who's talking about you? It comes with the blessing. With great favor comes great haters. With great abundance comes great opposition. We pray for the blessings. God, give me great favor, great ideas. That's good. But we should add to that prayer, and God, help me to endure great persecution. Help me to stay on the high road and trust you to fight my battles. When you see great blessing, soon someone will not understand. Soon a family member will get jealous. And this is not to discourage you, but to prepare you. If you're prepared, you don't get bitter. Stay on the high road. Don't pay attention to jealous, small-minded people. And sometimes the way God pays you back is He keeps blessing you when others are trying to discredit you. He keeps taking you up when they're doing their best to pull you down. Here's the key. The grace is there to handle it. You have what it takes to not be offended, to not let what they say get down in your spirit. You have to rule your emotions. You have to not dwell on the offense. When you're tempted to get bitter, take that same time to thank God for how He blessed you. Don't let jealous people steal your blessing. People that are never going to be for you keep you from the greatness that God put in you. Don't waste your time trying to change your critic's mind. Don't argue with people that don't matter. Their opinion is not going to keep you from your purpose. That negative chatter is a distraction. You can't stop what they're saying, but you can ignore it. You don't have to respond to the negative. A response gives that person credibility. Don't validate what they're saying by answering them. You have a destiny to fulfill. Do like Jesus and ignore it. Some people are not going to like you, and that's okay. Some people are not going to accept you, and that's fine. But sometimes we're trying to change people's minds that are never going to be for us. That's not your battle. That battle is the Lord's. But if you don't let Him fight it, you'll live defensive. Prove to them that you're not what they said. The best response is let your life, your success, your example do the talking. You don't have to respond. You don't have time to deal with every negative comment. The sooner you move on, the sooner you quit giving the negative your time and attention, the better off you're going to be. You have the grace to rise above it, the grace to not let it bother you. Are you going to let it keep you from enjoying the blessing? If you focus on the persecution, trying to straighten people out, it will keep you from the greater blessings that belong to you. Step into that grace and move forward. This is what David did when he was a teenager, taking care of his father's sheep. As long as he was alone, not having much influence, nobody criticized. But after he killed Goliath, he became an overnight hero. One day Saul overheard people singing, Saul has killed thousands and David has killed tens of thousands. Saul became jealous. One day while David was playing the harp for Saul, Saul took a spear and threw it at David, trying to kill him. David dodged it and barely missed him. Someone throws an insult, dodge it. Throws jealousy, tries to make you look bad, dodge it. The persecution is a sign that people can see the favor on your life. Saul wasn't throwing spears at any of his other men. He could sense that David had greatness that stirred up the jealousy. And that's why he chased David through the desert. And eventually Saul was killed in a battle and David took the throne. You keep dodging the spears and God will take care of your Sauls. You're not bothered by the jealousy, not losing sleep over those that are throwing spears. You can't be blessed without persecution. What they said, why do they leave me out? They can't stop your destiny. Where God is going to take you is going to require greater discipline and greater obedience. That all used to bother me, but now I'm comfortable with persecution. I'm not bothered by the jealousy. I've lived long enough to tell you God has the final say. My question is, can you handle the blessing? Keep a good attitude with negative chatter. Not be bitter over the jealousy. I already know the answer. Yes, you can.